so Ellie just had an idea, and this is, you've heard this a lot in the past couple of years, haven't you? The Electoral College doesn't work, get rid of it. We're not going to get rid of it. It's in the Constitution. It's not going to change. Unless an amendment is created to abolish it, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think we should either, because the founders had something in mind when they put it in place. But I think it's done wrong. It's done wrong because Congress has been allowed to mess with it over the years. Here's Sean's potential solution. Ready for this, my friends? Everybody, take your mouse, click into the space to the right of Alabama's 9. Click into the space to the right of Alabama's 9. We've already established that senators are there to make everything equal. That is not what we want in the Electoral College. We don't want that in the Electoral College. We want things to be proportional, not equal. The only way we want the Electoral College to be equal is if every state has the same population. Every state does not have the same population. I can show you a map later. I've actually seen a map where they divide the country up into 50 equal pieces by population. It's fabulous, actually. It's really, really cool. Like Los Angeles is like its own little state. There's so many people that live in it. So anyway, we'll come back to that in a second. Everybody, we're going to make a formula. Equals. Oops. Equals. Then click on that 9. Minus 2. So you're in, let me show you where we are. You're in cell D3. You type equals. You then click on that 9. And you type minus 2 and you press enter. And it says 7, which you're probably thinking, okay, that's great, Sean, we knew that. Now, we're going to drag that formula down. Click back on the 7. Do you see this little green handle that's down here at the bottom of that 7 cell? Left click, hold that, and pull down. All the way.
Click.
All the way down.
Or double click and it doesn't.
And let go.
Go back.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Tell me why you're confused. We'll make you unconfused.
What did you say?
So, I don't think, you probably can't see from back there, Mark. I'll talk you through it. You're clicking in the cell next to Alabama. Equals, then click on the 9 in Alabama's spot, then type minus 2. Then press enter and then drag that formula down. Is that fair?
Yes, I get it now.
Thank you. So what I've just done is, I took all the senators out. This is Sean's plan for the Electoral College. It's probably never going to work because I have to get like 300 million Americans to agree to it, or at least my senators, which I don't think they would. But it's okay. I think mathematically I have a point here. So now Alabama gets 7, Alaska gets 1, Delaware gets 1. How many would Oregon get without looking?
5.
5. Take the senators out. Beautiful. Thank you, Ellie. Okay, now, I'm going to make sure I don't get ahead of myself here. We're going to make column F now. Remember what column previously we did number of people per electoral vote?
Yep.
We're going to do the same thing now. Everybody over in column F, you ready for this? You ready for this? Click into Alabama's cell. That's F3. We're going to do a formula, so the next thing you click better be an equal sign. Ariel, go ahead.
Can you go back to the last formula, Mike?
Sure. Can you see what the formula is from where you're sitting?
It's
C3 minus 2.
So F3.
Hold that thought, hold that thought. Ariel, is that okay? Chloe, go ahead.
I'll show you how to do it.
What's up? Okay, just make sure you're holding while you're dragging. See how it changes a little plus sign there? And Jenna has a good point too. You can actually double click on that instead. And that also does it. If you do that, it'll do the same thing. That might be easier for you. Cool.
There's a little tiny bitty green square.
Yes, that's what you're dragging. That's what you're dragging. Tiny green square. Exactly.
I didn't have my editing enabled.
So, oh shit. Okay, well that's why. What's up, Mom?
How do I drag it down?
So you're in your formula, right? That little green square right there. Grab that. There you go. There you go. Now you got it. Okay, everybody, I think we're ready for our next formula.
So
We're going to go people per electoral vote. Ellie, I want you to walk me through, but time out. Everybody click in cell F3. Ellie is going to tell us how to make the formula. Equals first. Okay, Ellie, go.
I was asking.
Oh, you were asking. I thought you were going to tell me how to do the formula. Go ahead.
No,
Wait, what are we doing?
I was asking if we needed to do F3.
We're in F3.
No, like click on F3 on the keyboard.
Right. No. I'm sorry. No, you're in cell F3.
What? Oh,
Do you see why I'm saying F3? It's column F, row 3.
yeah.
Larry, give me the formula we need.
Equals E3/C3.
So I'm going to slow that down. That's exactly correct, Larry. Thank you. You're going to type an equal sign, which is a formula. You're then going to click on the population of Alabama, then press a division sign, which is a slash, and then click on D3, which is the new electoral votes that Sean has proposed by pulling the senators out. You buying this? Make sense?
D3, it's not C3?
Say that again.
No idea.
Okay, so you're going to this next tab. You gotta go over here. Right, center. So we already did this by taking the 2 out. Is that okay? Okay. Control Z. Okay. So you see that formula?
G.
I don't know why you have G. Can I see?
What he's proposing.
Oh, you're making new columns. You're not in the next spreadsheet. I had you all click on this one. There you go. That's why you're a G. You made your own column. Good for you. That's fabulous. Okay.
Oh, I'm confused.
Press Enter. And then drag that down.
Are you sure we're doing it E3 instead of C3?
Yeah, we want to do D3 in this one because we don't want the senators in anymore.
The new.
Right? We're comparing Sean's idea without senators to the other idea with. Larry, thank you for that question, though. Does that make sense, Larry? We're trying to test mathematical fairness of Sean's versus the actual way it's done. And then drag that down. I am going to repeat something Jenna said, which is pretty clever. If you ever want to drag a formula in Excel, you can simply double-click the little square to the right versus dragging. That is pretty slick. That is pretty slick.
It's quicker and easier.
Well, it's quicker. It might not be easier depending on mechanics, but it is definitely quicker. You have to use the green square regardless. So Ariel, when you're finished typing a formula, there's a little tiny green square down here in the corner.
Yeah.
That's what you either have to drag or double click on to copy the formula down. It'll go down until whatever left of it goes away.
Your cursor changes when
It
you're on.
does. Thank you for noticing that. When you hover in Excel, this looks like a big white plus sign, but as soon as you get to that little green square, it changes to a thin plus sign. That's exactly right. Okay. With me so far? We all have this column now? Let's make sure we have that column. Yeah, I know, it's thrilling. I know, Ariel, it's thrilling. Okay. Look at your new column F, which we just created. Compare it to column E in the previous sheet. Previous sheet being the one Larry was talking about. That was this one over here. So column E was people per electoral vote, but it was people per electoral vote with the senators left in, correct? These have the senators. Your sheet, we took the senators out. What I want you to do is, I want you to compare which of the two have values that are more consistent. And I made sure to define consistent here. By consistent, I mean most of them are much closer in value than they were when we counted senators.
600 and 700.
So which ones are more consistent? The new one without the senators or the ones with the senators? What do you think? What do you think? Take a look. Take a look. Don't answer it right away. Look at the two. Go back and forth. Flash back and forth between. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make it easier for you. I'm going to make this easier for you. I'm going to make this easier, maybe. We'll see. This is Sean's without senators, okay? And here is actual with senators. I'm going to create a column here so you can compare it. Hang on.
Isn't it senators, not ors?
No, it's ours. And here's actual with senators. It's pronounced with Sean-tors. Senator. Okay, so let me do actual here with you. Sean-tors. How egomaniacal of me. So here's the actual way the Electoral College is calculated. Population divided by the full 9. So what I want you to do is, I want you to compare these numbers.
We don't have to do that, right?
You don't have to, I'm just doing this so you can see it easier. This might be easier for you to see if you look. So this is the way it's actually done here, and this is the way I'm suggesting that it gets done, pulling the senators out. So which numbers are more consistent? My method or the actual method? And when I say consistent, I mean overall, which numbers are closest in value to each other?
Column F.
We have 1 vote for column F. We have 2 votes for column F, okay? Nikki's saying 3 vote for column F?
Yeah.
We're voting, what, don't vote for something I'm here. I should have invited Ron Wyden. He would have come for this talk. Shit. He would have, one of our senators would have come to this talk. I'm going to ask him next term to come. Because I would love to hear his take on this. He won't come to the motion. But, why, Larry, why did you pick column F and not column G?
Because the numbers are closer in value.
That's all I'm asking you to look for. Overall, which numbers are closest in value? Look at these numbers. 600,000, almost 700,000, right, Morgan? That's almost 700,000? 700,000, 800,000, 7,500,000, 700,000, 800,000, 800,000, 700,000. Yeah, there's a million up there. That's California, right? I think. No, that's not California. What is that? That's one of the small states.
Oh, it is.
That's Montana. Montana gets a million, so Montana's a bit of an oddball. That's okay. But look, the rest of the numbers. Wyoming now is 585,000, which is much closer to 6, 7s, and 8s than it was before. Look at these numbers. These numbers are all over the place, everywhere from 100,000 to 700,000. So yeah, I believe that the Electoral College I proposed, it's still there. It's still there. But the numbers are closer together. Why is that important?
So then it's more equal.
Yes, the whole point of the Electoral College is to make a vote in Wyoming worth the same as a vote in California, worth the same as a vote in Texas, worth the same as a vote in Oregon, worth the same as a vote in Delaware.
Minus 1.
Balance! I believe this gets us closer to it. Now, does that make sense? There's other ways that have been proposed to fix the Electoral College as well. This is just a simple way that would be the least invasive change. Literally just take the senators out. Now, which states are going to disagree with this? If I was to propose this as an amendment,
Texas and California.
actually Texas and California would be right first in line to agree with me. Do you know why? I love this. Thank you, Jack. Why would Texas and California be first in line to agree with this? Thank you for saying that.
Is it because
They're actually going to pick up. They're going to gain in this scenario. Go ahead, Larry. Tell me why.
It takes more of them to equal one vote.
If you compare, look at this. Thank you, Jack, for bringing this up, and thank you, Connor, and thank you, Larry. Watch this. Watch. Look at California. Let's find California first. There's Cali. Cali's right there. Originally, they needed 713,000 votes, people to get a vote. Remember, they were the second highest state, which meant they were the second least valuable electoral state. Does that make sense? The second least valuable. Now, their 700,000 is right in line with a ton of other states. That means electoral vote in California under my plan is actually more equal for California. It doesn't bring them up, it brings the other states down, if that makes sense. So if that's true, which states are going to be pissed with Sean's plan? Wyoming's going to be pissed. Who else? Delaware's going to be pissed. Who else? Rhode Island. Alaska. I'm thinking like Wyoming, Alaska, Montana. Definitely Montana.
Montana doesn't change at all, though.
What's that?
Montana doesn't change at all.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's the one that's a million and it's
It wasn't a million before, though.
Yeah, it was.
Vermont.
It's the same exact number.
No, it's not.
1 million.
Look, that's the population of the state.
Yeah.
You have to compare these two numbers. This is the number it used to be. This is the number it would be under my plan. No, you're looking at the population. That's because any number divided by 1 is itself, as you said before. So you got to compare this number to this number. This is what they currently have under the real system. This is what my proposed system would have. You bet Montana's going to be pissed. Because now Montana is the worst off state in the Electoral College. Now, this brings up a whole can of worms. Which I don't want to get too much into today because I'm looking at the clock, but I want to mention it. There are 100 senators, and we now know why. Why are there 100 senators?
Equality.
Equality. Percentage equality, right? How many representatives are there?
It depends on the state. Or all.
In total? Altogether.
I'll look.
Can I do it for you instead? Is that okay? Ariel, I can do it real quick from the spreadsheet. You know how? If I just select all this, it'll tell me down here. 436. I think that's all. I think she just did 435.
I think you missed the number on the top.
Maybe I did. 436. Why are there 436 reps? Why the number 436?
It's a Bible.
Why not 1,000?
Because it needs,
I'm not asking for more politicians, just
it
FYI.
needs to be a split.
It needs to be a split proportional, correct? It needs to be a split proportionally, right? So, thank you, Connor. Here's another gripe I have, which we're not going to get into today. Here's a gripe I have. This is a huge gripe for me, just so you know, Ariel. If that's true, that means we can now look at California and Delaware. California, which has a population of 39.3 million, and Delaware, which has a population of just under 1 million. If I divide the population by the number of representation in that state, I should get roughly the same number. Okay, hang on, I'm going to insert a column here. I'm going to do population divided by number of reps. So I'm going to take the population of that state and divide it by how many representatives they have. So in other words, in Alabama, each representative counts for about 700,000 people. Does that make sense? A representative, by definition, is supposed to count for the number of people in the state. So every representative in Alabama counts for 700,000 Alabamans. Is that okay? That's what they're called, actually, Alabamans. Alabamians. That's the problem, friends, right there. You have the same problem with the number of representatives that you have with the Electoral College. One representative in a state does not stand for the same number of people state to state. Now, how can we fix this? I'm not saying it's a good fix, but how can we fix this? No, that makes it worse. We can have more representatives. Here's the problem. How many representatives does California have? How many representatives does California have? 55. 53. Monica, you're from California, right? How many representatives do you have? 55. No, you have 53, right? Yeah, because you have 2 senators.
Yes.
I have a suggestion. I'm going to take California's population and divide it by Delaware's, because Delaware only has 1 representative. These are the numbers we should be shooting for if we're actually talking about equal representation. We need to rethink how many representatives the House actually has for each state. You know when this happens? Every 10 years. Every 10 years, states pick up, lose, add, drop. The big problem is, though, they always keep it at 538, which is 100 senators and then 438 whatever representatives. My follow-up to this, which eventually I'll make a homework out of for Math 58 and 98, is that we should actually rethink that number 438. I think it should be, I'm going to regret saying this, I think it should be larger, which means more politicians. I can't believe I'm saying this out loud. Shit, but I am.
We need to put like a time limit they can be on.
Oh, yes, term limits.
Yes.
And lobbyists need to get out of Congress. I don't want to get too political. We saw what happened earlier with talking more about territories. Oh my God. I just got my heart rate back down after that. But you're right. Term limits are huge and something that nobody's talking about, unfortunately. Okay. Write a sentence or two that you might write your representative with respect to what you just discovered. If you wanted to call Greg Walden, or whoever your representative is, if you live in Central Oregon, if you live in the eastern part of the state, actually, your representative is Greg Walden. He just announced he's not running for re-election next term. So we got maybe some potential. He's the only Republican representative in the state of Oregon. We have 5 representatives. He's the only GOP member. So that's going to be interesting. This side of the state. Oregon is an interesting state. It's 4 million people. Approximately 80% of them lean liberal.
And it's in the.
And it's literally the Willamette Valley. The entire west part of the state is the liberal part. We live in the conservative part. Go ahead, Connor.
Did you know the way Bend was gerrymandered? Like.
No, but it doesn't surprise me.
So Bend is technically, I don't know whether or not it's categorized as red or blue, but.
Yes. Well, Bend itself,
Yeah.
it's like 50-50, dude. It's literally like right in the middle. Yeah, go ahead.
The time they most recently tried to do it, they were trying to set it up so almost like the center of Bend itself
Was its own district?
was its own district.
Got you.
And then the outskirts were completely different,
And
so like alfalfa and all that.
How do I make this go away? Oh, Jesus. Okay, hang on. We wait for the damn cougar to run away. I'm trying to get you to this map right here.
The irony, sorry.
Oh my God. There we go.
Are we just gonna bring our homework?
So, you know what? I'm looking at the clock. We're not gonna have time for that last homework assignment, which is okay. It's fine. I brought it in case we had time. I wasn't sure if we would or not, so we finished the last. I want. Well, do you want to do that?
Yeah, extra credit? Heck yeah.
Well, no, I won't be extra credit. We're gonna count it. If you do it, it'll count as homework. Is that okay?
That gives us a better grade though.
Why don't we do this? I will do this. I will make it an optional homework assignment. If you do it, it counts as a homework, which means I'll grade it. It'll be graded on a 10. If you don't do it, I won't count it against you. How's that sound? Does that sound okay?
Perfect.
That gives you the choice to look at it and not do it if you don't want to. I like that. That gives you a choice, yes? Okay. So just FYI, I put a map on the board. If you took the United States and broke it into 50 states where all the populations of all the states were equal, that's one potential way it could look. Yes, Big Thicket, Chinati, Phoenix, Shiprock. We're in Shasta up there. We'd be in the state of Shasta. So if you took 300 million Americans and broke them up into 6 million people parcels, that's what it would have to be, Big Thicket, right? That's what it would look like. I love the names they used are great. So that's what it would actually look like. Here's another solution that would obviously never work, right? It would never work because we'd have to agree to change. We'd have to agree to change all the states, which would never obviously work.
Sean,
Yes.
do we turn in our labs?
Yes. I'm just giving you the homework now. So as you wrap up for the day, go ahead and drop your labs up here at the front, right on top of the pile. Yes, go ahead. I'm giving you the optional homework if you want it. Bring this back on Tuesday if you want to do it. If you don't want to do it, just recycle it somewhere. Use it for scrap paper. Is that okay? One for each of you, okay? Go ahead, Ellen.
So if we do the homework, does that mean we have a better average if we got?
If you get a 10 on it, yeah, absolutely. And you've been getting 10s on it, so that means your average might go up.
Awesome.
Absolutely. But you can also look at it and be like, I don't like this, I'm not going to do it. That's totally fine too.
I'm
Oh, sorry.
thinking, I'm gonna finish up for a journal.
I know.
Here you go, Mom. Practice.
I'm gonna fix my, I'm gonna finish my take-home exam, and if I have time still.
Because I'm
I'll
going to
do
count it
it.
as
I can't do it. I'm gonna probably do it.
I'm probably gonna do it too.
I missed 2 journals.
Me too!
So this one.
That would be
I know, I missed 2 journals too. Like, I still have a B for this go, but I'll. Yeah, see, that's my thing.
You learned something else?
Because I already know my other classes, my grade point average is gonna drop this term. So it's like,
Yeah. That's what
Be well, my friends. Thank you, Chloe. Big Thicket. Where did I used to live? I think I lived in Washington. I'm sorry, I live right around here. Maybe I lived in Tidewater. Nope, I lived up there in whatever the hell this is.
I think it was some Shiprock.
I live in.
You live in, is that where you're from?
No, I grew up in Phoenix.
Oh, Phoenix, which
I'm
you'd
not
be in
sure.
Phoenix, the state of Phoenix.
Is it actually included in that?
It is, it's right
It
there.
is.
Yeah,
Phoenix.
it's fine.
It's phonics.
Well, Germans would say it's Phoenix. Phoenix. Of course, there's only, I mean, that's, try to use German language to
I got
describe.
asked if I was from.
We'll see you Tuesday, people. Bring your take-homes. Ask the questions via email if you need them. Oh, I'm going to change it. Oh, you're all gone. It doesn't matter. I'll tell you the wrap-up thing. I should have said it 2 minutes ago, right? I should. Don't do that.
Yes, thank you very much, very nice, thank you very much, quite nice. Yes, Gesundheit, my friend, yes,
Hey, Sean.
stay healthy.
Rock on, every you too.
Hey, Sean.
Yes.
I got asked if I was from Wisconsin.
That's a compliment. That means you're nice. Wisconsin people are super nice.
No, you sound like you're from Wisconsin.
Oh, your accent. Yeah. You could be Canadian too, or North Dakotan.
I'm
You
from
got
Oregon.
yeah, but you've got like a North Dakota kind of twang to your speech.
Well, my dad's from Ohio.
Well, that's very close to Wisconsin, if you think about it. So,
And then
but
my grandma-
Ohioans,
He's Southern Ohioan, so he has a thick
still,
accent.
for years, when broadcast journalism school taught people how to speak on camera, they taught them the Ohio accent because it's the least accented of all the United States.
But it has its own accent.
But it's the least accented. Like if you talk about like East Coasters, I'm going to show you an East Coast accent. Okay? I'm going to show you an East Coast accent. It's one of my favorites. You ever seen the "You Want Coffee" skit?
No. But, my
Matthias, we'll talk to you soon, huh?
Louisiana, Alabama, and
Anybody want coffee? I'm making coffee. Anybody want? Who wants coffee? Coffee? Anybody?
This is my
I'll
family,
make it now.
essentially.
Come and get it.
This is what
Who
Thanksgiving
wants-
dinner
you
sounds
want
like at my house.
Who wants coffee? Anybody wants coffee? I'm making the coffee. What do you want? You want coffee? Yeah, I got it all right here.
that sounds like
Yeah.
my family.
I even got the K-cups that you want. Look, I got the Dunkin' Donuts K-cup. I got the K-cup, the B-cup. Looks like you could use a D-cup. I even got the Tim Hortons because you want to stay in your
He's like running out of his mouth as he's talking. These are like my uncles. My uncles are all this guy. This friggin' guy right here.
Cup that you need.
So,
Every type of coffee,
Yeah.
whatever you need.
The idea is Ohioans have the least kind of accenty accent, if that makes sense. So, but you do have a little bit of a north central, north midwestern twang to your voice. I never noticed that before until you said it.
But
You do.
I was in the dorms and they're like, so what's Wisconsin like? I'm like, I've never. been-
It's funny because I want to go with North Dakota. You sound more North Dakota to me,
I've been to North Dakota.
but probably not long enough to develop an accent,
No.
right?
Nope. I've never lived outside of Oregon.
Exactly.
But the thing is, I have a lot of Southern family.
Oh,
And then
okay.
I have a lot of Northern family. Like my
For
dad's
sure.
side's Southern and my mom's side's
For
Northern.
sure, for sure.
And then I have Irish on top of it.
Gotcha.
So it's just like a melting pot of accents growing.
Right, and it depends on how far off the boat you are for these things. Like how far off the boat Irish you are. Yes.
One,
I can't do it.
I think 2 generations. On my grandpa's side, I'm technically a third generation immigrant.
Third generation. That's pretty far removed from off the boat, so you probably would have lost the accent.
Oh no, like my great grandpa was from on the boat.
I love that.
See you Tuesday.
What's up, Tyler? Getting there.
What do you want? You want creamers? I got Italian cream. I got almond joy. I got your sister's eggs. French vanilla. Whatever you need, I got it. Who wants coffee? You want coffee? I got coffee. No. I don't have the Keurig. I got the Gehrig. This is the Gehrig machine. It makes 2,130 consecutive cups of coffee. What do you want? What do you want? Espresso? I got espresso. What do you want? The pergola? I got the pergola. What do you? Not a dish we stole. Did you?
I can't even think when he's yelling. I love it. I love it. It just gets in my ADHD. Okay. Hello, Jenny.
Hey, how are you?
We're getting there, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is it.
I know, right? I know, it's crazy to think about. Not thank you for all that you do. There we go.
I'm ready for a break for sure.
You ready for what?
For the break.
I know, y'all have been working so hard in here. It is, I have never had a Math 98 class that works as hard as y'all do. It's just, it's fabulous. I mean, I know you're exhausted because you put so much effort into this class. You see Haley sleeping out there. I know her. I know your class, not just this one. But the fact that you're able to, or you're willing to put so much effort into this, knowing how busy you are everywhere else, is just, it's fabulous. It's fabulous. Which is so, that's why I'm glad you're telling me things so I can build the class, make it better for the next batch, obviously, but also give me this take-home stuff to do, give me more time to work on things. I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. Yeah. Appreciate it very much. And I know you're ready for a break.
Are you guys, your family doing anything during the break?
Yes. I'm gonna go down a lot. I play with a band down in Los Angeles when I can. I'm gonna go down and do a little tour with them for a couple days, 3-4 days. And then we're gonna go and hit a beach for a couple weeks, just me, Jen, and Max, just kind of get somewhere warm for a little bit. So how about y'all? What are you doing?
Working.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, studying for the T's.
Oh my God, the teas. Send me questions if you get stuck on anything, okay? I'll be checking email at the break if you want teas help. I hate that test with all my heart, but I also like helping people understand parts of the test, so, especially the math part, honestly.
Yeah.
Because there's like a science part too, right? There's like science, math,
Reading.
yeah, comprehension, like, yeah, that kind of crap, grammar, all that stupid shit, yeah.
Yeah.
The math part pisses me off.
I'm nervous about the math part.
This class is actually prepping me pretty well for it. This class, and 58 and 98, yeah, exactly. There's a lot of conversion type stuff on it, like going back and forth between like miles and feet and pounds and cubic centimeters and shit like that. And, like doing dosages, like if you have a 90 kilogram person who has to take 10 cc's of a drug per kilogram once a day, how many cc's do they need to get? And it's just a matter of knowing, okay, he's 90 kilograms, so that's 90 over 1, and then if he needs 10 cc's per 1 kilogram, that means every 1 kilogram he has to get 10 cc's. So he's 90 kilograms, so I've got to multiply 90 times 10 to get 900, that kind of stuff. Just slowing down and making sure the units are what gets people a lot of those questions, but it's just a matter of setting proportion up. Yeah. Like if it's 10 milligrams or 10 cc's per 1 kilogram, then how many cc's is it per 90 kilograms? Does that kind of make sense? It's just a matter of thinking of it the right way. It's kind of how we do it here with slopes. It's essentially a slope, is all it is.
I have like a practice
Good.
conversion thing.
Yes.
My biology teacher gave it to us.
Good. And if you want, I can forward you. You get 105, right?
Yes.
Yes, I can forward you early. Actually, no, it's already linked. The project number 1 for 105. So if you see the schedule page that I linked off of your main page, if you go to the 105 section, in week 3 for 105, project number 1 is called dimensional analysis. It's all about conversions. So you can just download that project if you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you want to do it next term anyway, so you can really get it. Well,
Because we have to take our T's
oh,
halfway
great.
through 105.
Oh shit. Well, actually, tonight, I'm actually happy about this, and here's why. Did I tell you what my student told me in 105 last week? He's pre-nursing, so taking chemistry 104 right now, which is one of your chemistry classes you can take, right? I don't have to take it yet. You're going to
I
take it.
haven't. No, we can't take it till we take 105.
Perfect. And what's amazing is he must have snuck in because he's taking it with 105. But he said everything we've been doing in 105 is doing past chemistry 104. He's like, I have such a leg up on the students in my class because everything you're doing in 105 is making me do chemistry 104.
Nice.
Which is probably why they want you to take it first before take. So you'll take 104 in the spring.
Yeah.
105 for winter, spring.
I
That's
wanted,
perfect.
I thought I was going to take it in this next term, but they make you wait.
Totally fine.
Yeah.
But he actually told me he's the past couple of weeks, and I'm sorry, the past couple of weeks in 105, he's been skipping 105. He's like, dude, I mean you no disrespect, but I've got your stuff dialed so much from all the work we've been doing. Now I'm applying all your stuff to the chemistry part of chemistry, and I need to spend more time doing the chemistry part. So, I mean, that makes me happy. It just makes me happy that I've designed a class that actually helps somebody do something else in another class. And the fact that it's all connected makes me happy too. So, good to hear. It'll help with the T's for sure. And the thing about it is we do most of that conversion stuff in the first half of the course. So you'll have that skill set sharp when you take the Yeah, oh goodness, yeah, you'll have most of the class in the back by then. Yeah, because we start like January, like 3rd or 4th or 5th or 6th or 7th, something, 8th, 6th, yeah, somewhere in there. So you'll have all of January and then most of February, we'll be 2/3 through the class. You'll be in the financial math section, probability, which won't be on the T's, which means you'll have all the conversion stuff on it, so you'll be in fantastic shape, actually. But it's the non-105 stuff that sometimes throws, I'm not sure how much that's still on the T's. 10, 15 years ago, when I started tutoring people on the T's, there was a lot of stupid algebra crap. I don't know if that's still on there or
Yeah,
not.
I haven't had algebra since I was in 9th grade.
And I'm not sure why a nurse needs to know algebra, honestly. I mean, I don't know how quadratic equations are gonna help you dose somebody with fentanyl.
Right.
You know, I mean, I don't understand how that's gonna help you. But for years, they were putting that crap on the T's, and I was told by a retiring nursing faculty member, I'm not sure if this was the truth or just cynicism, that the reason they put algebra on the T's was to weed people out. I'm like, that's bullshit. How are you weeding? How are you sure you're weeding the right people out? You're weeding out people that can do algebra from those who don't. How does that make them a better nurse?
Right.
And they were like, I know, that's my point exactly. I'm like, what are you gonna do about it? I'm gonna retire. I'm like, well, that's bullshit. That doesn't fix anything.
Thanks a lot.
God damn it. So I'm doing my best to make things better. But yeah, you'll be in good shape taking 105 though. Are you in with Jessica, me, or
I'm with
Kristen?
you. She's with Jessica.
Oh,
'Cause I'm
yes,
with
I saw that yesterday because she was going through the list. She said, tell me when you're not 98 students. So they got you. You were the first one to your thought, like, oh, I'm so jealous of you, Christina. She's like, I totally told her that. So I'm like, you're the best poker face. The best poker face. I told her, like, there's only like four of you were taking it with, you'll have a couple classmates in there. It's you and who else? I shouldn't tell you, this is probably a FERPA violation, but I saw your name on there, and I was just like, and she was like, she looked at me and I was just spouting about like, oh my god, I'm so jealous, I'm so jealous. And she's like, and I'm like, this is how I feel my students, I'm sorry. I'm so pissed.
What's the name of your band that you're gonna be playing with?
Oh, failing up. Are you gonna be down in California, Rick?
No, my daughter was down there.
No shit. We're gonna play, I'll get the tour dates for you here.
In San Diego?
I think one of them's in Oceanside, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Oceanside at the pier?
I don't know the answer to that.
Oh, because that one is a really cool venue in my opinion, because you can see the ocean from the stands.
Yeah, Oceanside, California's got a special place in my heart because the first time I ever saw the Pacific Ocean was Oceanside.
That was like my first taste of when we moved from Utah to San Diego. Was
Oh, yeah.
Oceanside. Although I didn't like it though, because we had horrible, like part of Oceanside. Like